Kelsey. I'm here today to talk about you. You're a fucking problem. Let me tell you why you're a problem. Because I don't fit in with you. And I realized now that I'm a grown woman that I didn't come here to fit in with you. And you didn't even come here to fit in the way you're fitting in. And you're a fucking problem. Um, Sometimes the world needs to change. And when we try to fit in all the time, we're just keeping it the same. And it's not supposed to stay the same, it's supposed to change. I'm going to talk about my dad. My dad died of early onset dementia. I also have a history of people who die in hospice, my grandfather and my grandmother. And something they do when they're dying is they get up and they try to start walking. And then they instruct you, the nurses instruct you to put the people down and to sit them down because they need to sit down. They could hurt themselves or whatever. Well, I think the body instinctually knows that to survive, it needs to get moving. And these people that are dying, their body just takes over. The divine intelligence of the body takes over and it starts wanting to walk. It wants the person to start walking. Um, my father with the early onset dementia, he would take off and just start walking. Uh, Before he was diagnosed, he lost his job because he started getting attitude problems and they just fired him after 11 years of being employed. And he lost his health insurance. My mom flipped out. She wasn't working. And, a lot of pressure was put on him to get another job. So he got a job and he went out of town. I think it was like with these plumbers or something. He was an engineer. Uh, he worked for the Galleria in Houston. He was a maintenance person, but he had a degree or he had an education and everything. Well, I, all I know is he went to night school and got a level one first grade engineer. I was very young, but he did all that so he could support his family, and then he worked there, got fired because he was, I guess, in a bad mood. And anyways, my mom put a lot of pressure on him, and he went and got another job, and they went out of town, and he just took off walking. He just started taking off walking and shit. I think he just wanted to escape his life. He just wanted to get away, and he didn't know. He didn't know what to do. So he basically just made his exit. Um, and the same thing with my grandfather. After my grandmother died, he was very alone. He never really had that many friends. He was always really too smart to hang out with anyone. Uh, because everyone, when you're that smart, everyone's a disappointment. Because I resonate with that. I'm not, actually, you know what? I am a genius. I am, because I got myself off of opiates by myself. I battled an eating disorder, figured that shit out by myself. I did everything by myself, so I am a genius. Um, Lots of stuff have tried to take me out, and I've overcome it. So I am a genius. I was about to start explaining that I'm not a genius, but I am. And I am a loner. And people are disappointing. I see them too clearly, and I just prefer not to be around them unless they're just at a higher level. Then maybe we could hang out. But people like me, I guess, get lazy socially, and we don't want to hang out with anyone because we have enough to deal with in our own heads to even bother with anybody else's shit because people don't want to have to deal with their stuff. So they're looking for someone to dump it all on. And I know this, and that's why I don't want to hang out with anyone because I don't want to have to hold your fucking bags. You hold your own goddamn bags. I have to hold my bags. You hold your bags. And that's why I don't have really that many friends. And I think that's why my grandfather didn't have many friends. But anyways, his wife died, and that was his companion. And he he would have lived. He would still be alive today if my grandmother was alive. He had the strongest will of anyone I've ever known, and he just decided to make his exit. So he manifested an illness like my father, completely different illness, but he manifested a way out because he was so alone. Thank God I have a daughter because I would probably manifest my way out. But I'm not going to do that because I have a purpose. I keep saying little. She's 13 and she's not so little anymore. Uh, I'm her only hope, basically. And she kind of saved me because I was just a selfish, stupid little shit before I had her. Only thinking about myself. I could care less about the world, with the exception of littering. I've always been really good at not littering, and like I love the earth. Like I respect it and I love it, and like that relationship has always been solid since I was a little girl. Because oftentimes I'd be alone, and I would go out and just be outside by myself. Um, so I do have relationships. It's just not with people, but I have to be well, and I fight for my wellness in an environment of people who do not want to do any work on themselves at all. Uh, my mother has struggled with her weight my entire life, her entire life, and she wants to enjoy her life, and she wants to stay in this constant loop of whatever the fuck she's doing, and she thinks everyone's out to attack her. When really, I just don't want to have to deal with whatever shitstorm she's creating for herself because she's my mother and I love her. But she wouldn't be able to get that. So she's got a third husband who love bombs the shit out of her and tells her that she's perfectly fine. And they eat shit. They had pizza last night, and she hasn't had ice cream in a while. But I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to kill her, or I don't think he's. I don't know if he's that intelligent. I don't know. Sometimes I think he's like trying to get her to die as soon as possible so he can have her house and kick me out because I live there. He's hoping she'll die first, and we're all hoping he will die first because he's basically just her pet. He just like, and I'm tired of telling the story in my head, but it's my environment, and gosh, I don't want to poison you. Shit. Okay, stop. The wind is blowing. It is telling me to shut up. Hey, it's a good test for my new microphone. But the point is movement. How have I been able to stay sane without drugs? Because I used to have to do drugs to survive my mother. I used to have to have eating disorders to survive being around low people because they drag you down. They really do because they don't feel good. And then they get in a shitty mood and then they attack you. Uh, and I do it myself, which is why I take care of myself because I'm a mom and I don't want to hurt my daughter. uh, so How do you do that sober in this world around a whole bunch of people who don't want to do that? Well, first of all, you take a seat and you become miserable in your own self. You you see what pisses you off about yourself. I call it a sass in. You sass inward, become an assassin. I sass myself, and I listen to how I really feel about myself. Get really clear on what I'm doing that pisses me off about me. And then and only then can you come up with solutions. But most people are so busy defending themselves because they are so insecure that they can't even see what they need to do to correct themselves so that they're not insecure anymore, because they're so busy working a job to earn little bits of money to pay for places that they don't even like. And then round and round and round it goes. And I just, I can't do it anymore. I won't do it anymore. I fucking refuse to do that anymore. Because it's unwell. And like I said, I fight for my wellness. I will be well in this. I'm gonna be well. um, and I still have things that I have to mitigate and change. Things that I'm being a brat about because I'm not used to doing them. Like this video right now in public, kind of. The point is, it's away from my mother and her husband and their watchful eye because neither one of them work. And they're always there. And for me to have something beautiful blossom, I need time. And if they're always there, like a monkey on my back, I can't create anything of value. So that's why I'm here. And I think it's beautiful. It's a great spot. This is delicious. This is lemon, homemade distilled water, stevia drops with a little bit of seltzer water. Mm, it's the spot. I will say that I eroded the shit. I eroded the shit out of my teeth a few years ago by drinking lemon water. So if I can help you with at least one thing, if you're going to drink lemon water, swish with coconut oil after. I learned this the hard way. So I'm supposed to believe that you can change. Because I know I've changed. And if I can do it, you can do it. Please tell me you can change because I'm really tired of being in this world different when you need to be different because the world is calling you to be different. It's calling me to be different, and I'm here right now being different. So now it's your turn. I'm Kelsey Nicole Owens, and I'm your friend and ally here in Texas. Texas means ally. So I'd like to be your ally. That's all for now.